Welcome to LitWErnest, where we dive into the world of literature and explore the most iconic works of all time. Today, we're going to tackle one of the most influential poems of the 20th century, The Waste Land, by T.S. Eliot. Published in 1922, The Waste Land is a modernist masterpiece that defies easy interpretation. It's a poem that's both deeply personal and universally relatable, a work that speaks to our collective disillusionment with the world around us. So, let's start with the historical context. The Waste Land was written in the aftermath of World War I, a time when the old certainties were crumbling and the world was struggling to come to terms with the devastating consequences of war. Eliot himself was deeply affected by the war, and his poem reflects this sense of disillusionment and spiritual decay. But it's not just a personal lament. The Waste Land is also a work that engages with some of the most important literary traditions of its time. It's a poem that draws on everything from Shakespeare to Dante, from mythology to modernist experimentation. One of the key literary concepts at play in The Waste Land is the idea of fragmentation. Eliot's poem is made up of multiple voices, multiple narratives, and multiple allusions, all of which are woven together to create a sense of disjointedness and dislocation. This is reflected in the poem's structure, which is characterized by abrupt shifts in tone, style, and narrative voice. For example, take the famous opening lines, "April is the cruelest month, breeding lilacs out of the dead land, mixing decay, memory and desire, stirring 8 dull roots with spring rain." These lines introduce us to one of the poem's central themes, the tension between memory and desire, between the past and the present. But they also set the tone for the rest of the poem, which is marked by a sense of disconnection and disillusionment. Another key concept in The Waste Land is the idea of allusion. Eliot's poem is full of references to other works of literature, from Shakespeare's Hamlet to Dante's Inferno. These allusions serve multiple purposes. They add depth and complexity to the poem, but they also create a sense of dislocation and uncertainty. By invoking these other texts, Eliot is able to tap into a rich cultural heritage, but he's also able to subvert our expectations and challenge our assumptions. Take, for example, the character of Tiresias, who appears in the poem's third section. Tiresias is a figure from Greek mythology, a blind prophet who's been transformed into a woman. In The Waste Land, Tiresias serves as a kind of narrator, guiding us through the poem's fragmented landscape. But he's also a symbol of the poem's central theme, the search for meaning in a meaningless world. The Waste Land has had a profound influence on modern literature and culture. It's a work that's been cited by everyone from Samuel Beckett to Bob Dylan, and its themes of disillusionment and spiritual decay continue to resonate with readers today. You can see echoes of The Waste Land in everything from punk rock's rebellion against mainstream culture to hip-hop's exploration of urban alienation. But The Waste Land is more than just an influential work. It's also a deeply personal poem that speaks to our collective experience of disillusionment and despair. It's a poem that asks us to confront the darkness at the heart of human existence, but it's also a poem that offers us a glimmer of hope. As Eliot himself wrote, "These fragments I have shored against my ruins. Why should I orchestrate my pieces?" This is the central question of The Waste Land. How do we make sense of the world around us when everything seems to be falling apart? It's a question that's just as relevant today as it was when the poem was first published. In conclusion, The Waste Land by T.S. Eliot is a poem that remains as relevant and challenging today as it was when first published. Its exploration of themes like spiritual decay, disillusionment, and the search for meaning continues to resonate with readers, and its influence can be seen in everything from literature to music to art. If you're looking for a work that will push you out of your comfort zone and challenge your assumptions about the world, then The Waste Land is definitely worth reading. Like this episode if it hit true, share it if you respect honest talk about books, subscribe because we'll do this again. This is Ernest, signing off.